What's shaking, Chewy Nation? ChewbaccaLemma here, back with another Madden 19 Ultimate Team gameplay house rules event video where you gotta win 10 times to get an MVP 97 overall NAT. Can't sell it, but NAT MVP. Let me know who you guys pulled in the comments if you finished, or who you're hoping to pull if you haven't quite finished yet. Also, let me know what you guys think of this house rules event. I'll admit, don't want to persuade you into thinking. I think it is much better than last week. The 2-point conversion thing is crazy. Definitely is a huge swing of, it definitely changes, can change games like that. But the 2-down thing was just not for me. The games took forever if it was a full game, because you could only, 1 down, and then you got to punt or go. Like, you only got 2 downs, so it's just, those games were really long. So this is not as bad, I feel like, because of that. Just for that reason alone, it was much, much quicker. But we're down 14 early. You saw us fumble on a CPU hit stick, which I definitely want to discuss in this video. One of the things, and maybe that's not a popular opinion, I personally believe CPU hit sticks shouldn't even be in the game. The big hitter trait, just take it out. I don't want a big play like that. That was a beautiful block, by the way, for the QB draw, to change. That's such a huge momentum shift when just a CPU guy comes out of nowhere and just blindsides you sometimes, or that hit stick gets off a block and just hit sticks. I think you should have to click on. I don't know. Is that crazy? I feel like you should have to click on. The hit power is still going to come into play, obviously, but just get rid of the big hitter trait and just make it where the user has to do it. Now, I have a CPU one later as well, so it's not like I don't take advantage of that as well, but that's my opinion. Also, one thing, somebody's probably, is like, it's your quarterback. You should fumble sometimes. I'm on conservative, plus I am a ball carrier, so fumbling with the quarterback is no more likely, besides, it's just the carrying at that point, or the side, there's other things that go. I made it terrible. If I would have just waited a half second, that was going to be open, but I do that way too early. This game's kind of sloppy, but we'll see if we can turn it around here. But I'm a ball carrier. When I run QB draw, I never fumble, hardly ever. I can't say I never fumble. Obviously, I fumbled. But I fumbled twice in this game, and I fumbled probably about 5 times over the course of the past couple weeks. Probably about 40 games of Madden, and 2 of them just happened to be in this game. Spoilers about that as I thought he was stuck on the D-line. He touched the O-line. He was, engaged. To make his blitz come in a little bit better. And I thought he was, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, what, sometimes he does make bad reads, but both of us do that in this game. A lot of turnovers. Don't rage, brother. A fan of the channel. Thank you so much for this game. It was a very competitive game and kind of sloppy, of course, but you are the featured game today. Definitely giving this most of the airtime for this 4th and 5. He had it across the field. It would have been, obviously, Michael Vick probably could make that throw. He didn't see it way across the field. I've seen that so many times where I think it probably is complete. When those clouds come down, then they just throw it across their body. It's pretty much gonna work most of the time. Here's the other fumble, and this is when I realized, okay, that I thought, and I know that I know logically it wasn't the case, but it just was. I'm like, maybe a patch did something. I had not fumbled yet, ever, with a strip fumble animation. Went on conservative. Never have fumbled on it. So now I know you can. Granted, I know Deshaun has like 70 carrying, so I'm not saying he shouldn't fumble on conservative, but he is a runner, so it shouldn't happen too often. And it really never does happen. Remember, you can't spin, you can't juke, you can't do any of that stuff when you're on conservative. So there is a pretty big, not being able to spin, especially after you catch the ball, doing a spin so you can't take a hit and stuff. It's pretty glitchy, as he got me with it. That might be the first time I've ever given him a touchdown on a screen. I'm like thinking, what am I thinking right now? Looking at the video, I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, what am I doing? He took a false start, so he has a delay game. I'm not sure. He got to the 7 here. So now he has a longer 2-point, which is a really bad penalty, which I think, just with the rules. And we intercept it. And Ed Reed, stick work. Let's go. Ed Reed is off to the races. Remember, a 2-point conversion, so you get 2 points if you return it. But wait, it is the house rules event, so you get 8 points. That is a momentum swing there if I've ever seen one. 8 points on a 2-point conversion on defense. Don't think I ever thought that would happen in a game of Madden. Michael Thomas, I went for a rack there, thinking I had enough room. Thankfully, I did. I was very close. I'm not sure I was even in bounds, but I don't know. One thing I also want to mention, I'll talk about my offense more. This game obviously is a very competitive game as I make a gorgeous read right at his user, and somehow, I don't know. I was expecting him to crash down, and he just never came. Probably should have just ran it. I mean, thankfully, he didn't animate there, so I got kind of lucky, of course. I thought about kicking the extra point here to take the lead, but 8 points is obviously, like, that's big. And this makes him where he has to score a touchdown and go for 2. So I think that was the right decision. Still a lot of time left, 28-20. You know, some getting up there in points. So these 14-point touchdowns are absolutely insane. Well, 6 points plus 8. So now look at this adjustment. So one thing I wanted to mention as well is I'm cross-manning. I'm putting guys in quarters. So Pat Pete's in a quarter right there, and he makes an absolutely gorgeous play on that crosser there. So it's not like it's simply, oh, the Pat Sale route. It's not as simple as just, was that the Pat Sale route he ended up throwing it to? That it's just cover 2, Tampa 2. I feel like a lot of people say, all you run is Tampa 2. And you could tell right there that's not Tampa 2. Ooh, DeAndre. One cut is hardly, never do I run stock cover 2. Tampa 2. It just doesn't happen. So that's something I just want to point out. And also, there's only 6 plays in the Gun Bunch quads, the Kansas City Chiefs playbook, which is what I'm running. So if it seems like I'm running like QB draw, like there's only 6 plays. I try to mix up all 6. I don't think I use one like spacing or something, but the other 5 I use pretty much at least, you know, all about 10% or more. I know, you know, some are more popular than others, but we end up getting a pick there to ice the game. It is, you can only score 14 points per possession, so a 15-point lead there is pretty much over anyway. But we go ahead and get the win. Good game to Don't Rage Brother. I gave him most of the airtime. It was a really good game. That was the first game, actually, so I'm 1-0 after that. So a really, really solid game, and that was a good way to start. Good win, good comeback win. I know he's probably kicking himself. He really, that 2-point conversion really was the swing. And this guy's running some 5-2. You see him crash down. I don't know what route he thought that was going to be, but he got a little off on the route. I think he must have just thought it was going to come more across, you know, horizontally, and I ended up running, obviously, more downfield with that crossing route in Gun Bunch quads, and we go ahead and get the 2 as well. As you notice, I run a lot of halfback toss on 2s. It's not so much, I mean, it's good. There's a CPU hit stick. Did you see him Shaz just go right up the middle and destroy him? Like, that was wild. Should that happen ever? I don't think so. That's my opinion. He does go ahead and make him quit, which is nice. We get an easy win, but man, it feels kind of like, man, that RNG. Thank you, I guess, EA, for the RNG on my side that time, but it just feels kind of, I don't know. I'd like to see it go away. And I actually really enjoy Madden, and I know sometimes it seems like I complain a lot, but I've played more Madden this year than I've ever played. I've played probably about 400 head-to-head, just seasons game. Don't really play too much weekend league, and then obviously the house rules and other, you know, a little bit of squads, a little bit of other things as well. You know, anytime the events and stuff. So a little bit of that. I've played more than I usually play. Usually I'm just sniping, you know. I don't really play the game as much as I did this year, and so I enjoy the game, even though it's maybe not in the great spot. I legitimately enjoy it. So when I'm complaining, it's more about hoping that it's just something I'd like to see to make it go a little bit better. Obviously, like the fall forward thing, like nobody wanted that. Like the run game being that powerful and just always falling forward, or anything. Like even my QB draw was amazing because I could just run through every time, just run through their guys. That's not good for the game. So it's more about just hoping that's something I would like to see them fix. This is the, how am I inbounds there? I went for I mean, I don't know why I went for an ag, and I still caught it. I think that was that 4th down too. I think I was thinking his guy was going to make a play on it, so I thought I had to jump in front of him, and I go ahead and get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. What a huge, huge play right there. Michael Thomas, how he was in bounds, I don't know. Maybe we're getting some luck on our side. It didn't look like it was in bounds to me, and then he makes a terrible read here to not ice the game, because again, you can score 14 points per possession, but it does obviously do wonders to help us out here. And then we got a deep in route, the very first time I've ever done that, I think, on that, so probably wasn't expecting it. He didn't play it at all, and we go ahead and hit the deep end. Odell Beckham Jr. actually making a catch, which is surprising because he did not make a lot of catches. He dropped a lot of passes on this stream, and I'm debating getting rid of him. I was so fed up with him. Whew, beautiful stick. But I was fed up with Odell, and maybe we'll swap him out for, you know, I know Zay Jones, I was thinking about picking somebody different. I'm running Odell, DeAndre Hopkins, and Michael Thomas right now. And I could easily run Calvin, Moss, Julio, or Andre Reed, you know, like Moss, Calvin, or some combination of those, or, you know, there's a couple other guys I'm sure I'm missing. But when Herman Moore gets a new card, T.O. is going to be amazing when he gets a new card. There's a lot of different cards I could run, but I feel like I want to be different. So like Zay Jones or maybe Kenny Galladay or something. I've been thinking about that as well. So any opinions on wide receivers would be appreciated. That's really the spot that I'm like my third wide receiver. Like I want to run Hopkins. I want to run Odell, but as I keep using it, I'm thinking not so much that like he's really good. I'm not saying he's not good. It's just I don't know. Maybe just somebody a little different. You know, I've ran Odell most of the year. So I'm not sure. But anyway, there's my 2-point conversion play that I started running later on. I tried this out, basically high points. I really got the so I decided to run a different formation, gun tray Y flex, and I went 6-0 there, and I just high point, and it's pretty glitchy. I mean, high point's definitely OP as well, so it's not. I played that guy again. He actually scored a touchdown with a 2-point, but I didn't bother showing any highlights. Obviously, I just played him. I don't think he was gonna win, but he did score, and he was a little more competitive, of course. But he did end up quitting. Now this guy right here, I don't show. This is the only score of the game, and I felt like I got cheated, and I was fed up after that. He did end up scoring a touchdown. It was the only touchdown of the game. And you see it's in the third quarter, 3-0. Very competitive game against Shaky Degree. I played him last week against in the last house rules. Overtime the first game. I think it was last week. Second game, I ended up winning. It was really close as well, but I ended up winning that one. And we ended up splitting 1-1, obviously. I won one. What am I saying? I won one, he won one. 1-1, and then we dropped that. Gross. But I don't expect to catch a high point every time, just 99% of the time. And then this time he beat me. That was the only touchdown of the game, and it was a very, you know, he's a very good player. He does showboat on me. He just tried to get underneath my skin, but he is a good player, a very good player. He's been... as we stop a QB sneak there. I don't know. This guy, after I beat him, Unfleshly, is that his name? Unresting, whatever he is. After I beat this guy, he sent F you to me, but he didn't just say F you. He actually spelled it out. He said it in the messages. I don't know why he was so mad. Did you see that read he just made? Why are you so mad? I don't understand why you could be that mad after making a read like that. I don't know. But he was not happy. Maybe I said something about it. You know, I'm sending the heat here. So this is crossfire here in 4-3 odd. Simply just slide line right, crash like L1 and then or LB and then right on the right stick and crash. And then I send 6. I just send the left outside linebacker. I flip it. And that's basically it. And then you can run whatever cover shell you want. It's send 6. It's pretty good. I don't know if that's the best setup. And then I just put clouds on the outside, deep halves usually on the safeties. You can mix it up, of course. It depends on what your guys are running, what they're running on offense. But that's basically the setup. Pretty straightforward. I think that's probably out there on the YouTube as we run QB draw. Or sorry, we run inside zone, and then we make a gorgeous read there. Nobody's out there for Le'Veon for the 2-point conversion. So I don't know. Is that Levels play a good 2-point conversion? I'm not sure, but I tried to mix it up a little bit just with some high point, and I don't know. And then we see we hit X. I don't know it looks open. Obviously, we cheated his brains in, ish. If it was just an ag right there, which it a lot of times is, it doesn't look as bad, but obviously he didn't ag it, and then he ended up catching it. Like, okay, it was obviously very unlucky by him, but for me, I don't know where to throw that. It looks open, like if it's a good, I don't know how to throw that, Paul. That was the very first time I ran fake screen wheel, just for scumbag thrown. There you go, scumbag. You thrown, making some YouTube videos again. He's back for now. He likes whatever fake screen wheel, and I personally don't think I've ever run it. So there it is. I didn't run it well. I don't even know how to run it, but it does give us our 10th win. House Rules reward pack. Let me know again, guys, if you haven't told me already in the comments, who did you pull, or who do you want to pull? First up, we pull Julio Jones. I didn't want to spoil it when I was talking about wide receivers earlier, but perhaps we found our third wide receiver in Julio Jones. Perhaps. Or is that too mainstream? It does seem kind of mainstream. I don't know. I'm not sure. Or maybe it will be this guy on the team, Jason Pierre-Paul. Very good card, honestly. It actually is a pretty good card, but we'll go on. We'll go on to the third one, Calais Campbell. Garbage, too slow. So we have 3 options. there's really only one option because we have JJ, Merciless, Clowney all on the D-line with Peppers. Like, there's no spot for you, Jason Pierre-Paul, even though I do kind of like the card. We pick up Julio. He's definitely better than Michael Thomas. The question, pretty easily, I feel like he's better than Michael Thomas. 94 speeder, gets up to 98. Michael Thomas is only 96 powered up, so with all the sprinter and stuff. So maybe, just maybe, we'll add Julio, or we'll just quick sell him and go with someone else, like a Zay Jones or Kenny Galladay, you know, somebody different. We have been running conservative, so spin move and stuff like that really doesn't matter, but I don't know how long I'm going to stay on conservative, because not being able to spin is quite... even with not fumbling hardly ever, though we did fumble in that first featured game there a couple times, we really never fumble. That was just a little unlucky, I think, or maybe that should happen. I just never feel like it happens. But not being able to spin, I feel like that's a pretty big, like, when you catch the ball, a lot of times you want to spin. It makes it so you can't take those hits. You're going to be more likely to catch those balls. Like, when it's in traffic, if you're able to catch it and then spin, it's pretty much going to be a catch every time. You take that away if you're on conservative. So I'm not sure. Spinning would be nice, so maybe I'll look into that. Maybe that will limit our options, but hopefully you guys did enjoy. Yeah, let me know who you guys pulled for the house rules. Let me know what you guys thought of it, and hopefully, just hopefully, I just seen Lamar Jackson revealed on Madden Daily Drops. Hopefully, we'll see the Texan. Well, we know he's coming on Thursday. I'm hoping it's not JJ. I'd like to see somebody else, just because JJ's already got a really, really good card. But it would probably be JJ Watt. That's what I'm expecting. It will still be good. Obviously, I'll be happy to get an upgrade. But that's what I'm expecting. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. You guys are absolutely incredible. That's all I got. ChewbaccaLemma, out.